There are few things, if we really want to serve people, then those four or five things we have to go through, or we have to achieve, or we should acquire. So these are five things which are required if we really have to render a service. And in all these five things, Sister Nivedita is a great source of inspiration for all of us. We don't have Swamiji with us to guide us, but if we remember the life of Bhagini Nivedita, that how she had to pass through what all stages to become the perfect instrument in the hands of Thakur to serve the society, that if we understand, that if we study, then we can also get that guidance. And that's what Swamiji did. Bharat Mata became the ideal for Nivedita, the source of inspiration for Nivedita to serve the people. She said India has got a great role to play in the spiritual evolution of humanity. But to play that role, the first step, love India as she is. My people are selfish because they have undergone through slavery for so many years. They were fighting for self-protection for thousands of years. And therefore they are selfish, they are, they fight, they are jealous. All this is there. And yet, I don't want you to speak a single word against them. That is love for the country. That is love for the people. He said, I can't see, heroes are born. I can't create heroes. Then she said, who told you heroes are born? She said, heroes are made by the pressure of heroic thoughts. So continuous heroic thoughts, if a person is exposed to, he also becomes heroic in his nature. Nivedita used to tell, my work is to arouse the national consciousness of India. राष्ट्र चेतना को जागृत करना ही मेरा कार्य है. And that is what Nivedita all through she did. If we really want to look at someone as Seva Murti, in real sense, Seva Murti, that is Sister Nivedita. My namaskars to you all. It is very befitting that in the month of October, we are remembering Sister Nivedita. She was born also in month of October, and she passed away also in the month of October. That is on 13th October 1911, and she was born on 28th October 1867. We all, being Kendra Karyakartas, naturally we have a desire to serve. Also, there may be some others here who are not exactly Kendra Karyakarta, but also have desire to serve. Generally, every normal human being feels like helping others, serving the society. But whether whether just having a desire is adequate, that I want to serve the society, I want to serve my people, whether that desire alone is adequate, that may be beginning, but that's not enough. There are few things, if we really want to serve people, then those four or five things we have to go through, or we have to achieve, or we should acquire. Only then we can really render a meaningful service to the people. So what are those 4 5 things? The one is, which Srinivas Ayyaji mentioned in his introduction about Bhagini Nivedita. He said that she became one with the people. So the first and foremost thing is we become one with the people. That is, we love our people. We want nothing from them because we love them, we go and help them. So the first is it becomes selfless when we really become one with the people. For example, we all take bath every day. We keep our body clean. We don't expect for that any reward or any certificate or anything. It is my body, it is my duty to keep it clean. So same way, it is my society, and if there are any pains, any problems, I should contribute to remove that. That is what uh, being one with the society means. There is no any vested interest in that service. There is no expectation, but because we feel one with the society, we want to work for them. So this is first thing. The second thing is, now though I love my people, but if I have my own angularities, if I don't have adequate capacities or capabilities, then I need to raise myself. I need to enrich myself. And also I need to transform myself because I want to serve the people. So this is the second thing, the readiness for transformation. Then the third thing is, when we start working, we are working for the people, but people may not understand it. And, sometimes they don't support us, they don't cooperate with us. Sometimes even people may blame us. We should be ready to bear with all that. Only then we can really do service to our society. So this is the third thing, that we should not blame the people, even though they may be wrong, even though they are not understanding my good intentions. Uh, and then the fourth thing is, the service is not only, giving food to the hungry or giving medicine or helping in the times required. Uh, of course, that has to be done. But that alone is not service. A person should be made confident of himself. A person should get rooted to his society, to his culture, to his nation, to his tradition. And that is what really that person, that is, first we render service to a person, slowly that person starts rendering the service, and at third level, he creates persons who will render the service. So this is how the service has to be um, at that level, means strengthening a person in all his dimensions. And the fifth thing is hard work to do that. If I say I want to serve the society, I cannot do it from comfortable levels. I have to, from morning to night, I have to engage myself, and I should be ready for all types of hard works. So these are 5 things which are required if we really have to render a service. And in all these 5 things, Sister Nivedita is a great source of inspiration for all of us. Imagine to feel one with the people. We are born here. This is our society, our family, our people, our village, our city, our nation. It is much easier for us to be one with the people. But imagine Margaret Noble, who is brought up in England and a very proud woman, proud of her British heritage, and she comes to India, which is a conquered nation, which was slave at that time, and there to feel one with the people, how difficult it must have been. She can feel pity. She can feel, oh, they are like this, or she can be critical of them. But to feel one with them, what a great thing it is. And that is what we see in Sister Nivedita's life. This is something very remarkable. That is when she came here, and it was not immediate. When she came here, of course, she was a very proud British woman. Once Swamiji even asked her after when the Diksha was over, Swamiji gave her name Nivedita. He also, gave her mantra Diksha. She accepted Hindu Dharma. He taught her how to do Shiva Puja. All that was done. But just by doing that, a person is totally transformed. It doesn't happen. Or he has accepted the people, it does not happen. It's a process, it takes time. And we see how Sister Nivedita struggled to do that. So, after this Diksha, once Swami Vivekananda asked her a question. He asked her that to which nation do you belong? And to Swamiji's surprise, she told, I belong to Britain. And then she told Swamiji, once a Briton, British, always a British. I am proud of my British heritage, British nation. Swamiji did not say anything, but he realized there is a long way to go. And how she accepted, it's also linked to how she ultimately transformed herself. Swamiji realized that she needs a very, very, very thorough and, so to say, a very harsh training. And that's what Swami Vivekananda started giving. Imagine, Swami Vivekananda was the only person known to her, and that Swami Vivekananda became very harsh with her. Sometimes he used to tell her, patriotism like yours is a sin. Then one day she was talking something, she didn't know anything about India. So naturally she was totally ignorant. So something she said, Swamiji said that ignorance so determined is wickedness. And one day something happened. So Swamiji said, yeah, you people born in an island, so you cannot have a broad mind. You are always, restricted in your thinking. Then one more day, uh, Swamiji was talking about China. He said, today China is down, but don't forget, it is a sleeping giant. When China wakes up, China will be a big strength, great strength on this earth. And Nivedita immediately started opposing what Swamiji was saying, that no, China is not like that. And Chinese are untruthful and something like that. So Swamiji got again very angry. He said that means like this Swamiji was very harsh. And Nivedita was also trying to understand what her guru is telling. Never her Shraddha wavered. Though Swamiji was so harsh, she always thought that Swamiji is trying to tell me something else, which I am not able to get it. And therefore, Swamiji also was aware of that. And Swamiji had asked one of his Guru Bhai to guide Nivedita in meditation, in study of Bhagavad Gita, which any Karyakarta who has to do service he requires. Because unless we are rooted in the knowledge of Gita, that is our Vedic knowledge, and unless we are, little bit detached about our ego, who I am, we really cannot render service. Because when we serve the people, we don't serve in as an individual. We always serve in a group, in a team, as an organized effort. And when we do that, naturally, the egos clash. And at that time, the ego becomes important, the actual service becomes secondary. So, a person who really has to render a service, he has to keep his ego aside. Who am I? I am so and so. Now, for example, Nivedita, when she came from England, she was not ordinary woman. She was a very well-known educationist in London at that time. one club which she was running, in that club, even Bernard Shaw and all used to come. English language club she had opened it and she was running it. So such was her standing in that society. And after coming here, and that too because she was fascinated as well as inspired by the message of Swami Vivekananda, and she wanted to come to India. Swamiji was aware that Nivedita is a very strong personality, very accomplished personality, and it is not easy for an accomplished personality to give up ego and serve. So Swamiji told her, no, you can serve India by being in London. But she said, no, no, I want to come. And then Swamiji told, all right, you come, I shall stand by you. And that Swamiji was now so harsh with her. So that was the training. We all, when we take up, we decide I will serve, we have to pass through that. We don't have Swamiji with us to guide us, but if we remember the life of Bhagini Nivedita, that how she had to pass through what all stages to become the perfect instrument in the hands of Thakur to serve the society, that if we understand, that if we study, then we can also get that guidance. So that is how, for Nivedita, Swamiji told, keep your past aside. Forget who are you. He used to tell her, I don't want a teacher to come here and tell uh, what is lacking in us or tell our drawbacks to us. I do not want that. I want people who will love I want those who come here, I want them to love my people. That's how Swamiji used to say. And this was a great challenge for Nivedita. Now we cannot keep our past, we cannot just remove past from ourselves and keep it aside. It's not that easy. It's not like something like chappal or watch or bangle that whatever we are wearing, we remove it and keep aside. So Nivedita started meditating. She started, analyzing that why I get irritated or not irritated, why I become reactive, why I immediately comment whatever Swamiji is trying to tell. Why can't I just listen and try to absorb? So it was a very, very, very severe training, we can say. And Nivedita was struggling at that time. Some other devotees of Swamiji also were with Nivedita, like Josephine MacLeod, Mrs. Sarabul, and all that. So they also realized what Nivedita was going through, and they went and told Swami Vivekananda. And Nivedita herself was actually the way she was striving. Swamiji saw that. And when we strive, the God's grace come to us. And that's how Swamiji's grace reached her. Swamiji went in forest. That time they all were traveling and they were in Kashmir. So Swamiji went to forest, came back after 3 days and went to the quarter where all sisters were staying. And there he went, and that time these sisters were sitting outside in the veranda. So he went and he blessed Nivedita. And Nivedita says, since then I started understanding what my Guru was trying to tell me. When we read this training period of Nivedita, we feel that Swamiji was very, very harsh with her. But actually, Nivedita never felt like that. And she realized why Swamiji was like that. She says, when I came to India, for me, the ideal was personal. That is, it was Swami Vivekananda who was her ideal, and for that she has come to India. But she says, the great gurus never keep a personal ideal in front of their disciples. They remove the personal ideal and they keep the impersonal ideal. And that's what Swamiji did. Bharat Mata became the ideal for Nivedita, the source of inspiration for Nivedita to serve the people. And that she herself writes in her book, Master as I Saw Him. Not only that, once when all the disciples were discussing about, means after Swamiji took Mahasamadhi, that how they remember Swamiji. So someone said, when I when I remember Swamiji, I feel energy personified. Then someone said, I feel, the confidence personified. But Nivedita herself, she told, I feel tenderness personified. That's how she felt. So this is first thing. The period of transformation is difficult. And at that time, if we are more looking inward in from my side, how I can correct and what I should do, or try to remove our ego and study more Gita and get rooted in our knowledge, then we can really slowly, properly transform ourselves to become the better instrument for the service. This is what happened for Nivedita. Of course, she was also watching. Earlier when she came, she used to think that anyway, Indians can't rule India. Like all British, she was also thinking that Indians can't rule India. The British only will have to rule India. But my job is to make Indians and British as friends. So this is what she used to think. But slowly she realized that no, this is not true. The British are here not to serve the people of India as they proclaim in other way, in other place, or in back home at London. That is saying this is white man's burden and all that. But she realized that Swami Vivekananda, she realized that the British are here really to rule and squeeze India of her wealth. Not only that, even to destroy the very soul of India. That she realized. How she realized? She saw the behavior of the British with the pilgrims in different temples where they had gone. She also saw the behavior of the British, in trains you could not sit in first class and also many other restrictions. Or even when Swamiji and all were with these Western disciples, the British will give them all the facilities, but not the Swamiji. Then she saw their behavior with the laborers. And the last straw was Swamiji, when he was in Kashmir, Swamiji felt that even today, the Vedic chants, the Vedic ruchas sound vibrate in this valley. And therefore, we should start a Sanskrit college in Kashmir. And the Maharaja immediately agreed. He said, okay, I give land, one palace and the land associated with that, so that you can immediately start the college and later you can extend the building if required. But of course, the final permission was required from the British government, and British government denied. And that was shock for all. That in what way it is a problem for British government to run a Sanskrit college in Kashmir. If perhaps that college would have been run, today the history of Kashmir would have been different. But unfortunately, British government did not give the permission. Nivedita tried with all her contacts, even in London, to get the permission. And she found that no, British were just not ready to give the permission. And that is how slowly she said, I am permanently disillusioned. She said, our country, that is India, she said, India has got a great role to play in the spiritual evolution of humanity. But to play that role, the first step is political freedom. Unless we are free, we cannot, the soul of India cannot be expressed in all walks of life. And that is how Nivedita then later also participated in freedom movement. So we see how what a total transformation. And really for her, India became one. Means we have seen old people, they chant name of God like Ram Ram, Shri Ram, or Oh Shiva Shiva, something like that. Nivedita used to chant Bharatma Bharatma. Can we imagine? Bharatma really became her source of inspiration, everything. her devata, her daivat, or her very purpose of her existence. And that is how she started. Uh, so that is how she started working for India. And with such humility, she started serving the people that Bipin Chandra Pal says, Sister Nivedita came to us not as an expert, but as a novice, not as a teacher, but as a student. And this is the way how we should approach the society. We are not going to teach society anything. When we serve, actually, this society is not today's society. It is thousands of years society. It has faced so many challenges. Superficially, we may see, they are fighting, they are this, they are that. But go little deeper, and our society has many things to teach. And that's how Nivedita's mind was completely open now to learn from uh, the society, from the people. So gradually we see she became one with India, one with the people, and she transformed herself fully. Now, coming to the third point, not to blame the people. That is also a very great challenge when we start working. When plague broke out in Calcutta, uh, we know that how in British time they used to come, remove the people, and very roughly the police will behave with the people. And Nivedita saw that, but Nivedita felt that what we need is cleanliness. If we clean our areas, the plague which has started in one part of Calcutta, it will not spread here. And she called the youth of surrounding area that we will start cleaning all our lanes and drainage. When she called the people, no one responded. And Nivedita took the broom in her hand and she started cleaning the road. Someone came and told, see, they are not bothered. Why are you doing? Then she said, they don't understand, but I understand. So I am doing. And I don't blame them because they don't know what they are supposed to be doing. And when she started doing first day, second day, the people, the youth, they felt ashamed and they also got inspired. Then they all came and joined with her and the whole area cleaning started. But already the plague was spreading. And where Nivedita was staying, near that area, one day night, she heard, uh, a crying sound. So she went to the nearby small, very modest houses. Even she herself was staying in a very modest house. So she went and entered the house. She saw one 7-year-old girl, or maybe still younger. She was affected with the plague and almost in the last stage. So the mother was crying. Nivedita went. She took that girl in her lap and then started, caressing her forehead. And that is how whole day she was sitting there. And ultimately, the girl died in Nivedita's lap. She also pacified the mother. She told the mother, consoled the mother. She told the mother that it is true, she has left you, but don't worry, she has gone to the greater mother, the mother of all mothers. So she will be taken care of. It was this behavior of Nivedita that the people of Calcutta completely accepted her. That is, whatever inhibitions they had earlier, because she is a foreign woman, she is starting a school for our girls, and nobody was ready to send the girls to the school. Swamiji himself had to go around, only then some 5 girls were enrolled in the school. But after this, slowly, people started getting full confidence in her. And when there were floods, that time also Nivedita went very interior areas and she helped the people and she writes about it. She says the people are so proud. When I went to give them the provisions, those who had little bit, they said, no, we have, you still go further and you give in that area because they have nothing. So later, the collector, he made some statement, what flood, not much, some water came. These Indians, they always want to demand some or other money for themselves, like that. Well, I mean, they need some excuse, to ask some help, some support. And Nivedita got very angry. She wrote a very strong letter to the establishment saying, I myself have gone there and I have seen what our people are and how they are suffering, and how even in such a difficult time they are thinking of those who have nothing, and they are saying, you go and first give all the provisions to them, and what you are talking. So she told the collector, you come with me, I will show you what is the condition. And she took the collector, and when collector went there and he saw that, the collector himself was moved. And later, in the official records of the floods of that year, that collector has mentioned about the service rendered by Sister Nivedita. He says, I was touched by the way she was so proud of the people, and the way she stood by them. So this is how, though initially people did not accept, initially means sometime that problem continued also. For example, in the school which was opened, uh, the water, the ayah who used to fill up the pots with water for children to drink, if by mistake Nivedita goes and touches that pot, the ayah used to get angry because that whole water is to be thrown again and another pot of water is to be brought. You imagine, all this was there at that time. But Nivedita has never played. Nivedita says that, see, people change gradually. The society doesn't change immediately, and that's in a way good because they can always see what is right, what is wrong, and you cannot blame the people what they have been practicing for all these years. So this problem was there even in her later stage when she went to Badrinath, uh, and she had gone with Amala Bose, the wife of Jagdish Chandra Bose. Even Jagdish Chandra Bose was there, and 3-4 persons were there. All these people, they reached ultimately up to the temple. And now Nivedita has to enter for darshan. While going also they are chanting the name of Narayana. And at the entrance she was told that no, she is not allowed. Only Hindus are allowed. So Jagdish Chandra Bose started fighting with the people there. He said, what do you know? She is more Hindu than the Hindus. And how can you say that she is not allowed? He got very angry, but Nivedita immediately stopped him. She said, no, respect their practices. There may be some reason which we do not know. So, respect their practice. You go inside. I shall have darshan from here. So that was, unless when we say one with the people, love the people means we cannot blame the people. People are like this, people are like this, they don't listen to me. All these people are, this is what Swami Vivekananda also had told to MacLeod Josephine. Once MacLeod Josephine asked Swamiji, Swamiji, how can we help you? Swamiji said, love India. Then he added, love India as she is. My people are selfish because they have undergone through slavery for so many years. They were fighting for self-protection for thousands of years. And therefore they are selfish, they are, they fight, they are jealous. All this is there. And yet, I don't want you to speak a single word against them. That is love for the country. That is love for the people. Unless we have such love for the people, we cannot change them, or we cannot bring the change. If we keep on only listing what is wrong with the society or wrong with the people for whom we are rendering service, we cannot bring out any change. And we see Sister Nivedita is really a great source of inspiration for us. If Nivedita can transform herself, if Nivedita can tolerate the behavior of our own people, and if we cannot, then we can only say that we still need to be a fit instrument for service. And that's how her life is. Every day we have to remember her and render the service. Coming to the fourth point, that the strengthen the confidence of the people in themselves, in their society, in their nation, in their culture, in their tradition. And that's what Sister Nivedita also did. Whenever there was need, the physical service also she rendered, but also these other walks of life also, her contribution is immense. Once she was talking to the principal of arts college. He was British, that principal, and he was telling, she was telling him that why are you giving the European subjects for the artist here? Indian culture is so rich. There are so many Indian subjects, Indian, the history, which they can put it in paint or sculpture or whatever. Then he said, what to do, this, I don't have any excellent students. They are not heroes. I can't make them heroes. Then she said, who told you heroes are? He said, I can't see, heroes are born. I can't create heroes. Then she said, who told you heroes are born? She said, heroes are made by the pressure of heroic thoughts. So continuous heroic thoughts, if a person is exposed to, he also becomes heroic in his nature. And that is what she decided. She, Nandalal Bose and Avanindranath Tagore, she focused on these two artists. She called them once to her place. When they went to her place, this is also very interesting. When they went, they sat, there were just two chairs and other was Indian system of sitting. So she went and these two went and sat on the chair. Nivedita was inside. When she came, she told, why are you sitting on chair? Sit down. And so both of them got down and they sat there. But they felt, why she told like that? Oh, she doesn't like us. She is, because she is British, she is asking us. But then the next sentence of Nivedita was, you are born in the tradition of Bhagwan Buddha. Why are you sitting on chair? Sit on the ground. And see, now once you sit there with straight back, how nice you are looking. And then slowly as they interacted, they realized and they got so much inspired by her that later they started Indian Institute for Art, Indian Art. And it was Avanindranath Tagore who was motivated by Nivedita to paint the first picture of Bharat Mata. And that is the first picture. And then, of course, now we have many paintings of Bharat Mata. So there are many such instances, whether it was literature, whether it was art, whether it was education, whether it was science, whether it was freedom movement. In every field she was contributing. When Jagdish Chandra Bose paper were misplaced deliberately by the British scientist because they did not want him to, get the fame at that time, Nivedita told, doesn't matter. To make your work known to the world, you have to write the books. He said, I am too depressed now to take up the work of writing book. Then she said, I shall help you. And it were not just empty words. Nivedita really sat with him all through, and 6 books were published. And that is why when he started the Institute of Science uh, in Calcutta, at the entrance there is a statue of Nivedita with lamp in her hand. He says, it is she who inspired me. So like this in every field, in freedom movement also same thing. She took care of the uh, revolutionaries who were in jail. She took care of their families. If revolutionaries wanted to go to other countries to learn certain things, she helped them with her contacts. All that Nivedita in every field she was doing. Once it so happened that it was a convocation in Calcutta in university. Convocation is going on. Lord Curzon was sitting there as a chief guest. And when he was talking, he said, the Indian students are untruthful. Now Nivedita could not tolerate any injustice or humiliation of Indians. So Justice Banerjee was sitting by her side. She told Justice Banerjee, "Get up. I will show you what is what." She took him to the public library. She took out one book which was written by Lord Curzon, and in that book, Lord Curzon himself has admitted that he had been untruthful many times. That is, he has spoken he has spoken lies many times to get certain gains. And all that was taken from his book. Next day, in all the newspapers, there was editorial, Jhoota Kaun Hai, who is untruthful, and about Lord Curzon, it was printed. So Nivedita used to tell, my work is to arouse the national consciousness of India. राष्ट्र चेतना को जागृत करना ही मेरा कार्य है. And that is what Nivedita all through she did. Means there are so many instances of how she strengthened everyone. She strengthened Indians in their roots. Just to give one more example, once she was invited to Nagpur. She was told you had to give a lecture, and she went. But in that lecture, they also kept some prize ceremony. And in that prize was only for cricket match. So she got very annoyed. She said, I am coming to Nagpur, the Bhoslas ruled here, and it means the whole India is a place of great brave persons, and you must have shown me not cricket match, but you should have shown me some physical such exercises which shows the valor of the people. So when she said that, the people didn't know what to do. After the program was over, she was going, and as was the fashion in those days, the youth started giving the ghosh, that is the slogans, like hip hip hooray. So she got again very angry. She just turned and she told, what are you talking? Hip hip hooray. This is not our slogan. Say, Wah Guru Ji ki Fateh, Wah Guru Ji ki Khalsa, Wah Guru Ji ki Fateh. And then Bharat Mata Jai Jai. That's how she gave the ghost to them. So in everything, whatever Nivedita did, India was always first. It was always the Indian tradition, Indian culture, Indian pride, Indian consciousness, which she wanted to awaken. All that is the work that we saw. And ultimately coming to the fifth point, that is the hard work. Really, Nivedita came to India on 28th January 1897, and she passed away on 13th October 1911. So in these 15 years, many times she had to go to Europe to even collect money to run her school and also to help the revolutionaries and all that. She herself was staying in a very modest house with not much facilities at all. To give just an idea, in her diary, one entry is that today I got one great comfort. My European friend presented me a pillow. Can you imagine? Even without a pillow, she was sleeping. Very simple. And when she describes her house, even the lizards are moving, and all that description is there. You just imagine a foreigner coming here, staying in a simple house where lizards are moving, and she has no complaint about it. The way she is describing that modest house, that simple house, is as if she is describing a palace in her letter. So she had to go many times to Europe. So in just these few years, she has contributed immensely, whether it is Girish Chandra Ghosh, the great dramatist, whether it is Rabindranath Tagore, the great literary figure, or means his Kabuliwala story, very famous story, was also translated by Nivedita. Whatever Rabindranath Tagore used to write, he used to discuss it, means show it to Nivedita. And whether it was Dinesh Chandra Sen, the historian, Jadunath Sarkar, the another great historian, or whether it was the system of education that she brought here, or whether it was the Institute for Science, Institute for Art, or her immense literature, everything she was contributing, and of course also running a school, and she inspired many to start the schools in different places. So that is why when she passed away, on her samadhi it was written, "Here reposes Sister Nivedita, who gave her all to India." The hard work means service cannot be done from, really, if we want to make difference to wherever we are working, it cannot be done from comfortable levels. We have to work very hard, and that hard work was also seen in Nivedita's life. She took care of a child in plague. She was affected by plague, and the heat here was too much for her to bear. That is why Jagdish Chandra Bose and Amala Bose took her to Darjeeling, thinking she can recover, but she could not, and she passed away in 1911. So if means if we really want to look at someone as Seva Murti, in real sense, Seva Murti, that is Sister Nivedita. She is a great source of inspiration for all of us, and that is why her life, once in a way, when we become too much annoyed with our own people, our own team members, or our ego starts troubling us, or whatever, at that time, it would be always very, very inspiring to read Bhagini Nivedita and her life, and also her writings. So with this, I conclude. Few minutes are there, deliberately left. If anyone has any question, you can ask.
Namaste, Didi.
Namaste.
Hey, how are you? Thank you so much. It was very inspiring. And I must say that what touched me was, though Thakurji was so harsh with her, she had only one word to say, that he is tenderness personified.
Yes.
I thought this was something even I am unable to accept.
Because she understood his intention. See, because Swamiji was her inspiration. She saw Swamiji in London. She got inspired because Swamiji's personality was also like that. And she came here. But if only Swamiji is her inspiration, then after Swamiji's Mahasamadhi, she would not have continued in India. And Swamiji wanted her in the real sense to continue. That is why he established the impersonal vision, that is Bharat Mata in front of her, which she understood. And that is why she says he is tenderness impersonified.
And her motive of japa, okay, not Rama japa or Shiva japa or anything.
Bharat Ma.
जप करना बहुत उत्तम, बहुत ही उत्तम.
यानी हम वंदे मातरम में कहते हैं त्वम ही दुर्गा दश प्रहरण धारिणी. यानी
जी
सच में ये भारत माता ही है, शी इज भारत, यानी दुर्गा ही भारत माता के रूप में प्रकटित हुई है, ये एक
जी
विशेष चेतना है। ये
जी
भी उसको ने समझते हुए उसका तो इष्ट देवता ही भारत माता हो गया।
बस एक बात very intriguing to me, while she was doing so much for Indians, how come the British authorities didn't harass her or imprison her or did not do anything?
No, there were problems. I didn't touch upon that. There were problems like the spies were on her.
Yeah.
So once she was advised to go away from India, so she had to stay for almost 2 years in Europe
Oh,
because the viceroy at that time was too much against her. So all that description is there about her. But she also had very powerful friends in England. So
oh,
that way also British government must have hesitated to directly touch her.
yeah, I get.
Mhm.
So we take,
But because she entered in this political freedom movement, she was asked after the Mahasamadhi of Swami Vivekananda by Ramakrishna Mission to resign from Ramakrishna Mission publicly, or stop or publicly announce she is not part of political movement, because Ramakrishna Mission was a very infant organization which she understood. That is, she publicly announced, she said, I am no more part of Ramakrishna Mission. But of course Ramakrishna Mission took care of her
yeah,
or they had cordial relationship,
yeah,
but outwardly and as such also she was not part of Ramakrishna Mission. Because as long as Swami Vivekananda was there, again British government did not dare to touch Ramakrishna Mission. But they were sure that once he is no more, taking this excuse, they will trouble more Ramakrishna Mission than Nivedita.
I understood. We take one main message out of your lecture. So we call it law of transitivity, which means, okay, it's not enough one becomes a sevak. One is also equally responsible to create a sevak, who
Yes,
in turn should create another sevak.
yes,
This
yes.
is the most important message that we got. And thank you so much. We are very
Thank you.
inspired. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Didi, we have two more questions. Quickly, could you take one? One is, do you think it was her destiny to or Purva Karma that brought her close to Swamiji?
No, we all believe in karma siddhanta, so we can broadly say that yes, that is true. But actually, since her childhood, after her father passed away, when she was class 10, she started searching the meaning of life, what for life is. Then, when she was about to marry to a person, that person died. So then she felt that what is our human life? Is there some power which is controlling us? Can't we decide about our own life? And her nature was, she won't, like Swami Vivekananda, she won't just ask question, but she will go in search of the answer. So she started then studying, as our Ayya told, studying Buddhism, and that's how one of her friends, in whose house Swamiji was to come, she invited Margaret Noble, that is Nivedita, that you come, a Swami from India is coming to my home. But because Margaret Noble at that time, as she was very proud. She went, she listened to Swamiji's lecture, but when Lady Margesan, that is her friend, asked her that how was his lecture, then she said, oh, nice, but nothing new. And then she returned. Only after some time, when she started thinking over it, she said that when I say I am in search of truth, my pride is not allowing me to see the truth. There were so many very different ideas about spirituality in his speech. And then she starts attending his classes very regularly, but always with so many questions and all, because she had, so to say, She was not a person only who will come in emotions and take decision. So naturally, she.
तीन तरह है रुको
Huh?
सोचो
Didi, we have one more question. If one is already following some spiritual path or serving the society in the mood of God consciousness, isn't that about serving the nation?
Yes, for us, India, that is our Bharat, and God are not separate. You see, Swami Vivekananda, Srimanta Shankar Deva, so many others, those who were very great spiritual giants, or even Shankaracharya, they also served the nation. There was no need for Shankaracharya to go all around the country doing Shastrartha, making people know what is the ultimate truth. There was no need. But it is because of this, because once you realize the truth, you also realize this is the land which has cherished this truth and lived this truth for thousands of years. And if at all any country can really help the humanity by keeping their own whatever personal gods, personal traditions intact, but yet give spiritual dimension to their religious practices, it is only India can do. And therefore, the spiritual practice is also serving the people
And
or serving our country.
one last question we have. Sunita ji is asking about best book to read more about Sister Nivedita. Any recommendations that you would like to give, Didi?
There are many books, and her writings herself are very good. Master, as I saw him, and some 6 volumes are there. One book which Sharda Mission has brought out, that is good. Then from Maharashtra, one person, I am not remembering the name now, he brought out the book. Means he brought out her involvement in freedom movement in very detailed way, which till then nobody had done. So that book is good. Then Jnana Prabodhini's Appa Pense has written a book on her. Nivedita Swami Vivekananda ki Manas Kanya. That book is also good. Then there is one book, actually many years are over, I am not remembering, the Nivedita the Dedicated. It is one foreigner who has written about Nivedita. And she has written more about, the thought processes through which Nivedita went through. So that is another book. And a very simple for Karyakarta to know, I have also written a book, Nivedita, who gave her all to India. So when it was her 150th birth anniversary. So that is a simple book. But these different books give different dimensions. Nivedita, the Dedicated, in that book, her thought processes, especially during training, when she first, came in contact with India, her traditions and all that, and her struggles. Then I think it is Lele. I'm very sorry, I'm not remembering the name of the author. So that's in Marathi. That gives all about freedom movement. Sharda Mission's book gives more from her sadhana aspect. So like that, different books are there.
Thank you, Didi. Okay, let's conclude today's program with the Shanti Mantra. Namaskara Mudra. Close your eyes. सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः